focal point. This is going to bring a large building, and it's going to bring an additional 5,000 square feet of commercial space downtown. Number 18, a variety of housing options available in the town. We don't have one like this. This answers that directly. Number 9, reduces urban sprawl. And then we have a couple about economic development and enabling the town to provide facilities and services. And this, as any new development, directly fosters economic development. And because it's infill, it creates revenue for the town without costing the town a tremendous amount extra, because we don't have to run water or sewer anywhere. I will even suggest that it answers number 6, which is about fostering equity between generations. This town, the developer has said, is targeted mainly at students, but also at older people who are downsizing and don't require a large house anymore. One of our citizens pointed out that we have, I think she said 765, I may be off a little bit, but over 700 women over the age of 65 in this town, and I think this building could provide a different option of housing, which wouldn't be suitable for all of them, but some of them could like. Of the 22 objectives in our MPS, as I said, most of them this building speaks directly to and very strongly in favor of. One of them, the architectural heritage, is well, it's subject to a great deal of dispute right now. And I've had my say, and I'll say more about that dispute later, but give the rest an opportunity to respond.
Okay, Councilor Allen?
2 things. You can't pick a paragraph out of a 35-page document. If you read a little farther, you would find that there is very specific and pictures on conservation and architectural heritage. Well, that document was written in 1992. In 2008 with our MPS, and please understand, the only policies we have in our MPS related to maintaining our heritage are in Section 12. Section 12 says that Council is intent to control the appearance of buildings in many areas of Wolfville by using architectural control area designations. It shall be the policy of Council to require all developments located within a designated architectural control area be consistent with the design principles and guidelines contained in the appropriate architectural guidelines manual. That means in the downtown architectural guideline manual, and that means the whole 35 pages. I would dispute anybody who says these are not clear or these open us up to an eclectic mix. They do not. They say there's a period pre-1930 design. That is the kind of design that we are trying to replicate in that area of town for economic and tourist purposes. Doesn't mean that the insides and the outsides can't have green roofs and all of those things, but it's very clear about the articulation. It is not, there's nothing that would lead one or should lead one to think that you can put a modern building downtown and meet our guidelines.
Doesn't the architectural guidelines, especially for downtown, mention the word eclectic several times, recognizing that there is an eclectic mix there?
If you read it carefully, you would see it was talking about an eclectic mix of Victorian, Queen Anne, and Art Deco.
I did read it carefully, and that's not how I read it. But.
Okay, perhaps we can have one who deals with this on a more frequent basis than any of the councilors respond. Director Morrison?
I don't think I can add much more, Mr. Chairman. I mean, I think the difference I would have with some of the comments is that I don't think it's as clear as some around the table may think. And I think there's an intended room for interpretation, which the council will, that's part of their job to do. There are many things within the document that if you look at the same building, they will conflict with one another. You just simply, and some are not applicable. I think like we've seen, you know, not only the clause I read, but many others are subject to some interpretation and simply can't be applied in all senses. So council ultimately has to mix all that together and make some decision on the issue of architecture. And at the same time, you're blending all these other MPS policies in the pot as well, which will, you know, ultimately have some bearing on one another as to how much emphasis should be put on the architecture versus some of the other sustainability issues that were mentioned. So, yeah, that's all I would add, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.